Hey everybody, this is Darksied, and welcome back to part 17 of our Dark Souls walkthrough. As you can see here, we're now entering Sens Fortress. A good little thing there you can do, this place is full of traps, so the best thing that you're going to want to do here is to try to use those traps to your advantages. These snake guys can be fairly tough. I'm trying to get the other one to come on down here. Come on down, let's play. Alright, come on over here. Oh. Yeah, they rear back like that. It's best to probably roll out of the way. Those head attacks are pretty good. So I learned my lesson that time. Okay. Now, one of the safest ways of doing this next part here, just to kind of take care of some guys so you don't have any problems later on, is to just use some arrows right here. You can actually pull this guy here and he will come up towards you, eventually get knocked off by the swinging knives there. Then he'll start a slow trek back up, and he can actually reveal the location of a secret if you're paying attention. See? After a little bit, he comes back down and falls down there. So now you know that the way up there to that particular item is down below. I like to try to bring him down here because I have a little more room and I'm not worried about falling off. Oh, missed that backstab. Okay. Now there's also a lightning thrower over here that we're going to want to take care of. You can also see there's some Titanide Demons down there. It's actually just one that we can see, but there are many of them down there. I think there's a grand total of 4 total down there. And here's where being a Sunbro definitely has its advantages. I've done this before with spells as well, and they don't seem to go down quite that far, but the good old lightning spear seems to do the job. Also, it's a good idea before you jump down there to equip the rusted iron ring. This is actually a kind of a tar pit trap, so once you get down there, things become very sticky and it's hard to move. Our demon Titanite awaits. And this is that door I was telling you about. This leads to a ladder which will take you back up to that one little room you saw the snake jump out of. There's also another secret down here as well. One of my previous ones, after we rang the second bell, there was a kind of a stone golem guy that I said, or that was pulling the chains that raised the gate, and I said I wanted to fight him. Well, you get the opportunity because the way is right here. And we are a Titanite chunk richer. Okay, now there's a lightning thrower right over here on the right hand side. He's actually on the bridge just right above the one we're on. And I always like to take him out before I head over that direction. Dodging these things is bad enough. Whenever you're having to dodge that and lightning, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I usually shoot him with a few arrows. I don't happen to have any poison arrows with me right at the moment, or else I'd be using those. Shoot him a couple of times and wait. But as you can tell, most of the time it only takes a couple arrows and he falls off and dies anyway. Alright, the way is clear. Now these first ones are pretty easy. Obviously the first two, they give you more than enough room in order to go between them. The second one's not quite as much room, but it's easy enough to just run through quickly. As you can tell, I heard that snake hiss for a moment, and I ran over there to kind of check and make sure that I did actually get that guy. Which I did. Watch out right here, there's actually a trap on the floor. You can see that nice little arrow slit right over there. See, I'm already checking for mimics in the game. Because it's in Sens Fortress where you come across your first one. Now if you take the time to inspect those chests, you can actually tell the difference between the two, between a mimic and the chest, just by the way that the chain is kind of folded on the side. The normal chests kind of make a little circle around backwards, and I think the mimics is just kind of hanging off to one side. But most of the time, if I'm not really paying attention, or if I'm just going through an area quickly and I don't quite remember, then what I'll do is just go up there and smack it quickly, and of course that'll obviously let you know you're going to get in your free attack. Once again, I don't care to fight on narrow spaces, so I'll bring him back here and finish him off. My boulder already took off a pretty good chunk of his life. Now one thing that I like to do right here before I head out is actually go down there and kill that sleeping guard who's down there. And you can see the boulders rolling down the hill. Now it's actually a better idea to sit there and wait for just a second after you run there instead of coming back up like I did there. Mainly because there is a lightning thrower snake who comes in and gets a hold of you if you're not paying attention. He was up just a little further. Gonna wait for that boulder there, and we're gonna head on up. And there is a ring, I believe, in this chest back here. And it pretty much just increases your physical defense. Okay. Let's wait a little bit for that boulder to go, and now what we're going to be doing here is going off to the left side. You can do that. You can actually see that there's a little section down there and an item, so we're just going to hop down here. And there's also an old fat knight down here whom we can talk to as well and assist him on his quest. So he's already taken care of the two snakes down here. That they got run over by the boulder.
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Ismail of Katarina. Quite honestly, I've run flat up against a wall, or a ball to be precise. I'm afraid I'm a bit stuck to be out running those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
Sigmar, he's a real character, I swear. Every time you run into him in this game, he's stuck because he's got a problem that he needs you to figure out.
My head is big. Perhaps I should try to will it. Fine.
Watch out for yet more traps down the hall. And that one will get you too. The best way to do it is to actually kind of run jump through there, and you can usually roll and then roll out of the way. Okay, now there's actually a fairly interesting item here. In order to do this, you got to get into this little hole and let this thing fill up with boulders. As you can see, the next one's going to come through here and bust through that wall. And that leaves our way open for the covetous gold serpent ring. You've heard me talk about this in some of my farming videos. This is like the #1 item for gathering anything. It increases your item discovery rate by 200. And that will complete this part of our Dark Souls walkthrough. If you've liked these videos, please click the like button. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.